Γεια σας παιδιά, είμαι ο Βαγγέλης and today we will be talking about your favorite part. What is this? The writing.
No!
Okay, I know, I'm joking. It's not your favorite part, alright. But what can we do? We have to talk about the writing of the ECPE, of the Michigan Proficiency Examination. Let's take a look. So, as you know, or you should know if you have watched my previous videos, and if you haven't, just watch them right now. The writing of the Michigan Proficiency is the one that is conducted first. Okay, so be prepared to begin with the writing. And in the writing, you will be given a choice of two different topics, alright? And you will have to just write one out of the two. You will be given an essay, or you will be given a choice between an article and a proposal. That means that you will always have an essay and you will have to choose between an article or a proposal. One of the two, let's make that clear. And there will be three writing prompts, three pieces of information, out of which you will have to use at least one of them. Over here, listen to me carefully. It's a really good idea to try to use as many of them as possible. And why is this a good idea? Because that's why they are given to you. They are not given to you by the university because they want to make things complicated. They're not given to you because they want to make the exam more difficult for you, to trick you. No, they're not that bad guys. They want to help you, okay? So my advice is to try to use as many as possible, but as long as this is done naturally, okay? If we use them just because we have to use them, then this is a disaster. Alright, so keep in mind, yes, I must use one of the three writing prompts. Yes, I am advised to use as many as possible as long as I do that in a natural way, alright? And you read the topics, you read the writing prompts, you've made up your mind regarding which one you're gonna do. Make a plan. Make a plan. And something else. Make a plan. 3 times. Why is it 3 times? Because nobody makes a plan. Nobody makes a plan. I keep on telling my students, have a plan, okay? What you're gonna say, this happens in life. I mean that when you want to do something in life, you don't simply do it, but you think it over. You say, okay, I'm gonna do this and then I'm going to do the other. So in this way, have a plan, alright? And if it's far too difficult for you, but it's not too difficult, practice, okay? Practice having a plan before you do your writing. So, but if it's really far too difficult for you and you don't want to make a plan, okay? No matter what I may tell you, you don't change your opinion. Make a plan in here. So have in your mind, what am I going to say in paragraph 1? What am I going to say in paragraph 2, 3, 4, or 5? Okay? And another question that you tell me, Vangelis, how many paragraphs? I will not answer that question clearly, not at this point, but I will tell you that we definitely need 3 parts. What do I mean? I need to have the introduction, which is the first paragraph. I need to have the conclusion, which is the last paragraph. And I also need to have the main part, 2 or 3 paragraphs in the middle. Alright, so I have already answered your question, okay? How many paragraphs? 4 to 5 paragraphs. Personally, I prefer 4 paragraphs, okay? I think it's better, but that's personal. So, and many times you have an introduction, which is not an introduction. I mean that when we say that we need to have an introduction, it's not that to have one paragraph at the beginning and to name it, to call it, this is my introduction. We need to have an introduction that functions as the introduction should, okay? So, what should we do in the introduction? In the introduction, we should introduce the topic. Tell the readers what we are going to tell them, okay? And also express our own personal opinion. It's a really good thing to do. And yes, Vangelis spent time to tell me I will copy-paste the rubric, the topic, the words, the vocabulary that is given to me. I'm done. My introduction is ready. I don't know whether you know that, but the examiners have also read the topic, okay? And why are you doing the writing? To show them how well you can copy-paste? Of course not. You are C2, you are proficiency level students, alright? So, how do we do an introduction? We read words using our own vocabulary. We don't repeat the words that are given to us in the topic. Some other students go to the other end, which means they don't even use a single word. They try to use unnatural language because they don't want to repeat the words. Okay, try to have common sense. I think everybody has been born with common sense, okay? Which means try to rephrase that in a natural way, and of course it's no big deal if you repeat a couple of the words that are already given to you. So, introduction. The first paragraph, what do? We introduce the topic using our own vocabulary by rewording, and we express our own opinion. Is this understood? Yay! I'm really happy with that. And then we go to the main part, which I told you between 2 and 3 paragraphs. I think that's fine, alright. Of course, you need to practice in the development of different kinds of topics. I mean, advantages and disadvantages, for and against, problem solution. You need to practice, okay? I cannot explain everything over here. And the first thing that you have to do in each paragraph, the main part, is to have a topic sentence. And what on earth is the topic sentence? The topic sentence is the sentence that introduces the topic of the paragraph. Imagine that a paragraph is like a small writing, okay? So you need a topic sentence to introduce the topic that you're gonna say, alright? And then you will analyze and try to use a variety of vocabulary, language, as sophisticated as possible. And don't forget linking words and phrases. And we move on to the last paragraph, to our conclusion, which again should function as a conclusion. I mean, what should we do in the conclusion? We should summarize. What does summarize mean? You may tell me. You should repeat what you have already mentioned in paragraph 2, in paragraph 3, in the main part. Okay? What you have already mentioned, the basic points that you made in paragraph 2 and in paragraph 3. And you should also repeat your opinion, which has already been mentioned in the intro. Of course, I have to say that what I have just told you is a very, very general and rough plan, the basics, okay, that you need to remember. Each different kind of writing should be analyzed specifically. I mean that there are some things that you need to pay attention to, the essays, to the articles, to the proposals, which will be analyzed later on in another more specialized video, or your English teacher, I think that's better, should do that to you. Other basic questions that you use me. Vangelis, should I bring a pen in the examination? No, no pen. Everything is written in pencil. So what do you need? You need a normal pencil, not the one that we use to sketch, okay, and it's far too soft or it's far too hard, okay? A normal pencil, an HB or an H2, and a good rubber. Don't pick your unicorn rubber that when you use, then everything becomes blurred and black. You need a normal rubber, alright? That will help you to improve the appearance of your paper. Appearance. Vangelis, my handwriting is awful. What can I do about that? Practice to improve it. What do I mean? You will not be assessed. Your handwriting will not be judged, okay? But for God's sake, it has to be readable. If the examiner cannot read it, okay, how much time do you think they're going to spend trying to understand what you're writing over there? So, practice having readable handwriting, okay? Another thing which is very, very, very important, keep the last 5 minutes in order to check your word. And for the ones that haven't understood, keep the last 5 minutes to check your work. What does that mean? That when we write something, a lot of times, most of the times, we make mistakes that we wouldn't have made when we read it again. To put it more correctly, that we would have corrected if we spent some time reading what we have written. I do it personally, okay? I write something and then I check it out and I say, oh my God, is it me that has written this? Full of mistakes, alright? So please, it's really important. We've got 45 minutes, which is okay. At the time, it's not plentiful, but it's okay. Keep the last 5 minutes so that you can check your writing, so that you can correct the mistakes that I am certain you will have made. Alright, I think I have covered the basic questions that you may have asked. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to write them and I'll try to answer all of them, either written or by creating a new piece of video. Alright, ελπίζω να βοήθησα, θα τα πούμε σε ένα επόμενο βίντεο. Γεια σας!